What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, in case you haven't closely been following the discourse as of late surrounding the MCU and in our little corner of the internet, by that I mean YouTube, there's been one general question in the sentiment over the last 2 weeks since Secret Invasion's finale aired, and that's, should the MCU reboot? And while ultimately pun totally intended, and you'll see why during this video, that might have always been the plan, stemming back to reports from years ago, we have a trusted industry insider weighing in with that exact topic today, telling us that Avengers Secret Wars and the end of the Multiverse Saga is intending to do just that, reboot the MCU. We're going to talk about this latest scoop, what was said, and how it relates to rumors and reports. The conversation was very similar almost a year ago, and my thoughts back then are the exact same as they are right now. The MCU should definitely reboot. There's a lot of reasons why, and very few of them, at least to me, have to do with any perceived failures that the Infinity Saga has suffered over its earliest parts. We're breaking it all down, the MCU soft reboot at the end of the Multiverse Saga, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews, to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner to coincide with Loki. Again, all you gotta do be a sub. Leave a comment on this video if you want. Stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the latest update from Industry Insider and Twitter scoopster Can We Get Some Toast is that hashtag Avengers Secret Wars quote is very likely setting up a soft reboot to the entire MCU, kind of like what The Flash did for the DCU, or at least what The Flash was meant to do for the DCU before they hired James Gunn and he rebooted it, but in a totally different way. Now, as I mentioned during the prologue, this is not new. People were talking about this much in the same way they are now, where you had speculative pieces like this article that ran in Polygon again over a year ago with the title Avengers Secret Wars could give the MCU the ultimate superpower, a reboot. All of the articles go on to basically read the same and explain that in Avengers Secret Wars, the 2015 Jonathan Hickman reboot version of the story where God Emperor Doom has taken the Beyonder's powers, Reed Richards eventually defeats him by figuring out Molecule Man is the reason that Dr. Doom can wield that immense power in the first place, and after convincing him to side with Reed Richards, also has him rebuild the multiverse. If not by the time Secret Wars starts, and definitely by the time it ends, and maybe already, the multiverse in the MCU is going to be in complete disarray. If it needs to be rebuilt and set straight in the first place, this offers them a comic book narrative opportunity, something that already happened in the comics, to rebuild and soft reboot the MCU. Then you add on the news we got that Marvel Studios may have to hold off introducing the X-Men, or majority of them, because of contractual obligations to the original Fox Studios actors who played those roles right there at the very end in Dark Phoenix, meaning we may not have a lot of the X-Men we would have wanted taking part in Secret Wars. The only way we're ever going to see legacy characters that have now left, namely Iron Man, also Steve Rogers, Captain America, and others that may not be around after the conclusion of the Multiverse Saga, is to have a soft reboot where you could actually recast these characters as new versions. Again, Marvel Studios is approaching 20 years in 2028, and some of these characters have been played by the same actor for nearly the same amount of time, going on 2 decades. If they have an opportunity to reboot the MCU, and if we're not going to be able to get the X-Men alongside some of these awesome Marvel characters, then the X-Men may suffer in the same way they did at Fox if all the characters that we never got to see cross over, like Wolverine vs. Hulk, don't actually get their opportunity. Then the only way to do this is with a soft reboot. Look, Marvel Comics would do this all the time and when it would suit their narrative, and ultimately I can confirm from some of my sources at Disney that at least some creatives in some rooms there have talked about this, using the Ultimates as a blueprint. In the comics, they would constantly have to reset things so that they could tell new stories with the same characters, because Marvel as a business wants to continue to sell Iron Man toys. Yeah, it's great that we don't have RDJ coming back and already to ruin his sacrifice in the cinematic universe, but also they want to sell Iron Man toys and know they can't do that unless they have Iron Man back in movies. So when you add the idea that the X-Men may be stranded in the same way that they were at Fox, alienated from characters we want to see them cross over with because those characters have already left the MCU, and the possibility that this narrative is one of few that actually gives them the opportunity to rewrite the multiverse, there is a good chance while we'll see holdovers like the brand new Fantastic Four that'll only be just over a year old in the MCU, into the new universe and other characters as well, we may see recastings for characters that have been gone for some time, and this is how you get a new Iron Man. Now quickly, two things. Sometimes I speak metaphorically. When I say something as simple as they want to sell Iron Man toys, and I don't mean it that literally. They do want to sell Iron Man toys. They want to sell all their character toys and continue to have their characters keep showing up so that they can keep capitalizing on their merchandising from it. So yeah, it's about the crossovers and having the characters there, but it's also about making sure they don't leave Iron Man out of the movies for the next 15 years and as we head into the Mutant Saga. Now obviously we're getting a bit of reconciling here because we're going to see a lot of the Fox X-Men show up during Deadpool 3, and then presumably some of them are going to stick around for Secret Wars. Daniel Rickman and other industry insiders indicating Hugh Jackman's basically a lock, and just yesterday My Time to Shine Hello tweeted out that Professor X, Patrick Stewart, will be joining them as well. I assume many of them will be, but that won't be the new X-Men as we enter in to the next phase, phase 7, and or whatever the next saga is, the Mutant Saga. That's where you'll have a brand new X-Men team, and that's what I meant by, in the earlier part of this video, talking about them being stranded. If there isn't an MCU reboot to go along with what's going to happen in the Mutant Saga, certainly they're going to close the door on the multiverse. And if you don't reboot the MCU in that crucial moment at the end of Secret Wars when you're repairing the multiverse anyway, and you don't recast new actors for Captain America and Iron Man, then you're going to miss out on amazing interactions of those characters with the Fantastic Four, those characters with the X-Men, and the new X-Men cast will suffer in the exact same way that they did at Fox. I hope to see some of the classic matchups in Deadpool 3. My fingers crossed they find a way to take Mark Ruffalo's Savage Hulk somewhere earlier in the MCU timeline or whatever dimension they end up in and cross him over with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine so we can see that matchup on screen. But the interactions, the meaning between the characters, go a lot deeper than just one fight and a one-off on screen, and so my hope is there are some truth to these rumors, so when we are getting a new X-Men team, we get some brand new characters too. But guys, it will not be a complete fresh reboot, as in anybody who was a character during the Multiverse Saga is fired and they're starting all over again. Some people won't have been those characters that long, namely the Fantastic Four. I'm assuming as they continue to move around the slate, they'll be around a little bit longer than just the year they would have been around. They were coming out, what, the May before Secret Wars was coming out, the next one, so about a year. I think they'll have at least 2. Either way, you're not going to just be the Fantastic Four for 2 years and then get rebooted right after that. So there will be characters that hold over. It's just the old guard. Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, along with them closing the multiverse, I think a lot of the old guard legacy characters will be the ones that are first up for recasting. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, how you feel about all of this. I am all ears. I know you guys usually have a lot to say when we talk about topics like this. I'll be in the comments. I'll see you there quickly. Let's get into giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s, and in fact, we've got quite a few PlayStation 5 giveaways between now and the end of the year. We've got one for Echo, one for the Marvels, one for Loki, and maybe even one if What If does debut during December. If you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.